Are you trying to come backwards? Oh, that was really dumb. So dumb.
I think we've done this to ourselves.
It got dark so fast. That's an excuse. I knew it was going to get dark, but... Really short travel day today. Only made it about 145 miles. It started getting dark. The weather's kind of crummy today, but we are staying at Cactus Pete's Casino in Nevada, and it's free overnight parking for RVs. There's a lot of space here. They also have an RV park that you can pay for full hookups, but we're just gonna spend a quick night here and head out early in the morning.
When we were buying our rig at the dealership, there was dents in the doors, and apparently during transport it swung open and hit some things. So it took us about a year and a half to get those doors replaced, and now we have new doors. We don't want new dents, so we're gonna try these little child locks. Now it's a Dometic gas electric, so it has locks on it, but you can see sometimes those locks don't always work. So a little extra protection with these guys. There's probably a better solution. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this works. I realized right after we installed our solar, there was one piece that I wanted to do, and that was a DC to DC. And I haven't done that yet. And we've been able to survive just fine, but there's times like this where we need a DC to DC because we traveled in cloudy weather all day long. And so we weren't getting a charge. And then we land here and our batteries are already low. And so we kicked on the generator last night for a little bit just so that we can have house lights and not drain the battery completely. Well, this morning we woke up to 9%. Okay, so 9% is okay, but we have a lot of technology running in the rig. So we're kind of heavy power users, so I don't like to see it get to 9%. And so today we're leaving and we're going to be driving in still some more cloudy, rainy weather. It's raining right now. Probably get to our next site and have a pretty full charge if we had a DC to DC on us. I will fight for this. I will fight to live. I will fight until the day I rise again. Turn left on US 93.
So the weather's been pretty rainy and wet, so I've been a little nervous about what this area is going to look like over here to Boondock near the Salt Flats. This looks not too bad, and the rain's cleared up, the sun's out, so it's drying things up. Ryan went to check out a spot to see if we fit in there, if we want to continue on to find a different spot. I don't know, it looks like there could be some better spots ahead. All right, we're getting some sprinkles. I think it's gonna rain. Ryan's gonna position us with that mountain behind us. And then we have the Salt Flats to look out the windows. Oh no, it's starting to rain. Ah! Okay, I gotta get inside. Ah, no!
We're about 5 or 6 inches high on the street side when we pulled into the spot. We tried a couple different spots and it was all that way. That's because of the slant of the mountain unless we faced up, right? So, and we solved it kind of creatively. Instead of putting blocks on the low side, we dug a hole on the high side. Bonneville Salt Flats. There's a lot of places to boondock up here, right near the flats. Now for us, we have to go off the road a little bit and then kind of, it's probably a 2-mile drive to like where the sign is and where the racetrack is, right? But this is a really beautiful area. We have the mountains back behind us. We have the Salt Flats over on the side of us, but man, that wind is blowing. This morning we're in here and the whole slide just started shaking because of the wind hitting it. So it's just a one-night stop for us. We weren't here very long, just here long enough to go see the flats. We couldn't drive on it though because there's been a lot of moisture, so you're not supposed to drive on them when they're wet to protect them, and also you could get stuck. So we got to stand and kind of watch them from afar. There's somebody out there riding horses, but it's beautiful. It's cold. I'm trying to get south so we can get to warm. The road coming back in this area is really washboardy, but once you get back here, the views are spectacular with the Salt Flats out that window, and we have the mountain out that window. We went and explored around that mountain a little bit. There's a road that goes up it. It's probably not meant for dualies, maybe razors or smaller cars or something. And Sarah, I don't think was real happy about us taking the dually on it.
So Ryan wanted to take us on a little adventure. We have a dually, not a little razor up here on these razor trails.
It did get a little moundy and tight, and we ended up stopping and hiking the rest of the way, but very beautiful area to explore.
I think we're going to go towards Capital Reef National Park instead of Moab area because of the annular solar eclipse. I wasn't planning on going and checking it out, but now that it's kind of crossing a little bit to where we are, we're like, let's go check it out. So I got us some glasses at a gas station, and we're gonna go about, I think it's at 327 miles today. And I think we're just gonna see how far we can get there, because it's almost the week. We only have a couple days. I'm pretty sure the boondocking will be packed around there. We'll see what we can find.
This gas station is we're pulling out of the Bonneville Salt Flats where we were boondocking, and we get over here and I start to pump. Now the fuel's really inexpensive. It's $3.99 in comparison to what we've been paying. But as I'm coming back from the store, I look down and I see my cap missing on my front tire. So I'm like, oh man, somewhere we lost that on the road. So my daughter's traveling with us for a couple weeks, and she started going through video, and she said it was on the truck last night at 5-something p.m. Well, that's right before we went up the hill. So we know that it's probably up the hill somewhere. So Sarah's probably right. I probably drove on rough roads. So we don't want to drag the rig back down the washboard road where the boondocking is. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the rig right here in the gas station. We're going to drive over there and we're going to find that cap.
Don't you sing those blues, don't you sing those silly blues, 'cause I know as well as you that I ain't got nothing to lose.
Much better. In the time that we've been gone, which we dropped the trailer, went up the mountain, we're gone for about 30 minutes. Diesel prices have gone up 10 cents.
It's getting dark. Uh-oh. Hope we can back up.
That's why I don't like to show up in places after dark. That was crazy. We're in though. Okay, so we broke one of our rules. We don't travel at dark, but this was kind of a last minute decision for us. We wanted to get over here to get to an optimal place for the eclipse viewing. We ended up in a dispersed camping area right outside of Capital Reef National Park. It's called Beeas Dispersed Camping Area. So we research and we look at reviews and comments before we go someplace to boondock. And all of the comments for this area were really good because it's a really good place to boondock. But most of them said as you come in and you go see the cattle guard, take a right at the cattle guard, and that's where all the spots are. And that's true. There's a lot of spots past that cattle guard, and it opens up and it gives you a view of the whole area. But there was one comment that said you got to watch out for the washout that's after the cattle guard, and that it's a serious washout. So it was dark, it was late, and we decided to go to the right because that's where everybody said they go.
We don't take this spot though. I don't know that we can, well, maybe we could still find another spot right there.
As we were coming down that hill to that washout, we couldn't really tell how bad it was, and it looked like we could go ahead and go. So we were creeping through and watching it, and when that bike wreck touched the ground, we were like, we're done. We are backing out. So we ended up having to back up the hill in the dark, and it's not a straight hill, it's curvy, so we were kind of curving back out so that we could get to the spot where all the bigger rigs are. So if you come in the Capital Reef National Park and you want to boondock, you have a couple options. There's this area, which is really large, and there's two smaller areas as you get closer to the park. I'll put the coordinates to this area below in the description. So if you're coming and you got a smaller rig, my personal opinion is you should go to the right and go over the cattle guard through the washout, because there is beautiful views back there. If you got a bigger rig, you probably should grab one of the spots when you first pull in, or when you see that cattle guard, just keep going straight. Opens up to a really wide area that has some private spots, some looks out like over the rim, and you know, our spot's good. It's gonna give us a great place to watch the eclipse. Morning of the eclipse, it's cold out there. We woke up and it's in the low 30s, so we're going out to watch the annular eclipse, you know, the ring of fire. This is supposed to be really optimal viewing for it because we're right in that path.